Hey guys, can we talk? I feel like it's been so long since we talked. I just want to talk. Can we talk? Hello and welcome back to another installment of the most important show on YouTube, The Gina Show, my show, May Gina, The Gina Show. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is celebrity house tours. There's nothing better than just getting a glimpse behind the curtain into not only their homes, but into their minds. Their complex minds, because they've got so much going on that it's almost impossible for us normies to even understand just the complexities and the layers
in their minds.
So today we're going to take a look into the minds of one of the greatest of our generation, Miss Gwenyth Paltrow. So let's just jump right into it. I cannot wait to speak on this.
Dee, welcome to our home.
Okay, so right off the bat, her home looks very tasteful, very beautiful, very modern. And the thing with modern homes is they run the risk of being very cold to me. Like in a modern home, they would never dare to have this, a little crocheted pea on display. They would be too scared of the bold raw sheer power of having something this kitschy in their home. And so I think we're gonna find that her modern home does lack some of the essence of joy that something like this brings to a home. Okay, so first up, we are hitting the entryway, the first look into the home.
We built this from the ground up, so it's the first time I've ever done anything like that. It was quite an undertaking. I think having spent so much time as an expat in Europe and
saying as an expat living in Europe is so funny to me. Like, I think she could have said all that without the caveat of as a blank, but I don't know, maybe she's onto something. What do I know? Maybe that's why she gets paid the big bucks and I get paid $20 an hour to congratulate customers on a well-curated shopping cart. Anyway, all of this just to say, I think we need to go ahead and just keep a tally of how many times Miss Goop mentions her time abroad, because I have a feeling it's gonna be more than one. Yeah.
As an expat in Europe and really falling in love with Georgian proportions and those kind of details, I really wanted the entryway to feel like its own special room.
I'm simply trying to figure out what Georgian proportions, which I'm pretty sure refers exclusively to the outside of a home, has to do with these tree balls. Are these trees living? How do they stand on their own? How do you water them? I see no discernible drainage holes. Gwen, you need drainage holes. Otherwise, your trees are gonna grow mushrooms, believe me. I know. I know.
And so with the architects, we conceived of having a fireplace, which is something you see a lot in Europe, in an entryway, and just gives this really nice feeling of warmth and welcome.
Wow. Her and her architects are so brilliant for conceiving of a fireplace. Maybe next they can conceive of a way for me to listen to Miss Gwenyth's voice without feeling the need to plug my ears with a couple of yoni eggs. Not likely though. Not likely.
Well, I really like the mix of having the things that are sort of systemic to the house. They're more traditional. We have reclaimed fireplaces and old floors. And then I think it gives sort of leeway to have a more contemporary, like mixed experience with the furnishings and stuff like that.
Shocking, but also not shocking at all that she thinks a solid marble fireplace and flooring feel old. She probably walks into Nobu and admires the rustic feel of the hulking columns because they remind her of her humble summers spent at her grandmother's quaint chaise in Versailles.
The tiles reminds me of my time living in London.
Next up, we have the bathroom. Let's see what Mama G has to say about it.
Powder room. It's got all of this hand-done antiqued mirror and hand-painted wallpaper. It's got a reclaimed sink. It's got tons of different textures and metal finishes. It's really pretty. I love it. It makes me feel very grown up when I pee in here.
Too true. This bathroom is so beautiful and delicate that I would almost feel guilty about blowing it up every morning after my post-coffee diarrhea. Must be nice for Gwendolyn that she only pees. On to the dining room. Let's head into the dining room. Now, let's just move into the dining room. Shall we dine? Fellas, we dining? Fellas, time to dine?
So this is the dining room here. I enlisted my friend Bridget to help me furnish the house. But some of the things I had ordered before we started, like this beautiful table.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This table looks like where me and the boys would have a feast after our biannual ritualistic sacrifice of the most annoying barista in the neighborhood in order to ensure 6 months of delicioso nut milk lavender lattes.
And this chandelier, which I can't decide if it looks like a grasshopper or lily pads or something.
Grasshoppers or lily pads? I don't know. What do you think? Grasshoppers or lily pads? I don't know, Gwen. I was kind of thinking it looked like mammoth bones, but I didn't want to say that because I wanted to sleep tonight. So let's go with lily pads, okay?
It's a little futuristic for me. Bridget and I don't want to say we fought, but we definitely, there was some friction, and then we landed on it being pretty cool and fabulous.
It's so funny because she obviously hates this thing. Like, telling the story about how she argued with her stylist about it, but she eventually came around. Like, no, she didn't. She fucking hates this thing. She wants her stylist dead. She's preying on her downfall. And I just think it's really funny that it seems like she doesn't know that she can make changes to her home without her stylist.
Gwenny, baby.
You can take that chandelier down and put in one of your own. I won't tell Bridget. Unless, of course, Bridget is doing some sort of routine inspection of the home to make sure that Gwen's not making any changes without her input. Gwen, are you safe? Are you okay? Do this if you need help. I'll be watching.
This wallpaper is so amazing. It's hand painted by these artists in Los Angeles. They do these incredible.
There it is. Oh my God, Gwen, I'm on the way.
I love that the wallpaper really grounds the room in kind of a more traditional feel. And then again, we have some super contemporary items mixed in.
Okay, the wallpaper is stunning. Really amazing work, hand painted by artists, beautiful, but it feels so sad. Like, this is the room where Gwenyth just plops down into a chair after a long day, head in her hands, just exhausted by no one understanding the struggle of being an expat back in America. And she puts on Daniel Powter's Bad Day and she just ugly cries. Wow, time to move on to the kitchen. I wonder what she's got in there. Do you think there's any food or just lemon water? Let's find out.
I entertain a lot. I cook all the time. And I wanted it to feel both welcoming, but also that you could have like a formal dinner party.
You cook all the time? Okay, Gwen, be so for real. Your go-to recipe is a 1-pound bag of spinach sauteed in water with a side of 3 almonds. You are not cooking for a house party. Let's leave it to the professionals who work in your kitchen, okay?
We also put the fireplace in, which is like such a luxury to be able to have a wood-burning fireplace in your kitchen. You know, it does take me back to my days living in the UK. I had 2 wood-burning fireplaces in the kitchen.
Okay, so far I count 3 fireplaces in this home, and I can't really think of why you would need 3 fireplaces in a California home unless you did not have central heating, or you needed to burn 3 bodies simultaneously, and something tells me that Gwenjamin's house is heated, so... Also, that makes 3 mentions of her time abroad, if you're counting along with me at home.
This is like my dream to have all my pots lined up on these beautiful. In the fall, I love to cook. I love to braise things and make soups and stews.
Yes, typically when I make a soup or a stew, I need about 12 sets of the same pots. Otherwise, my goulash just won't turn out.
I always gravitate towards whatever produce is in season. I mean, we get it all year round. We're very spoiled. But I love really fresh, like just farmers. I love going to the farmer's market.
Also, an entire tree in the kitchen. Yes, plants notoriously love
Rapid fluctuations between temperatures.
and hot oils splattering on them. Or maybe it's just that she's too posh for oils to splatter. When Gwenjalina's wielding the ladle, the oil simply stays put.
This also was like a dream come true for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that plate wall a certified thumbs up from me. That's good stuff right there. I like it.
I loved how in different rooms she completely changes floors. And I think it's such a nice way to offer a distinct personality to a room. And so I'm not afraid of changing floors, as you'll see as we go through.
Okay, now we got a bowl of just straight up loose green beans in the middle of the kitchen. I don't know about you, Gwen, but I'm pretty sure those need to go in the fridge. As a lover of all things cooking and fresh seasonal produce.
I thought you would know that.
On to the living room, the lounging area, the living space, babe. Let's check out the living space.
I kind of just sent her drawings of the room and I said, just do whatever. It's kind of bonkers in the best way, I think.
The light fixtures in this living room just look sad. They look like if the candlestick from Beauty and the Beast had a drinking problem. Like, you want to sit on this ergonomic nightmare of a chair? Be our guest.
I lie in it all the time. I mean, I go there and I read or talk on the phone or whatever, and it's become one of my favorite spots.
That swing fucks. I mean, I would fuck that swing. I mean, I would fuck in that swing. I mean, that swing, fuck. I mean, fuck that swing. I mean, I would fuck that. That swing would fuck if it could. I mean, hey, that's a pretty cool swing. Cool, hey, cool swing. I love that great swing. You have any more?
This bar is this beautiful kind of jade bar.
Jade countertop, you say? Does that remind you of anything else that's jade? Maybe some sort of jade pussy ass?
Spa room, spa room.
You weren't expecting me to say spa room, but I said spa room because she's got a spa room.
Spa room, spa room, spa room, spa room.
Okay, this is kind of the most incredible thing of the house. It's a bit of a spa moment happening. Understatement. You know, I'm into wellness, so I feel like it's justified, right? Yeah, well.
Holy fuck, this room is out of control. Like, you can see that she's kind of embarrassed by the opulence of it all, and maybe she should be. But also, maybe she shouldn't be. Like, isn't this what we want from rich people? We want them to have these incredibly extravagant, expensive, very specific rooms that only they could have. Like, when I was a kid, I always dreamed of having a rock wall in my house. So, I get it, but also, fuck you, Gwen. Nah, I'm just kidding, you're alright. Well, I don't know, maybe you're not alright, but whatever. If you're watching this far, I love you. Goodbye. Fade to black.